to another live edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline in the BPTV studio right here in Bethel Park. Mask mandate is back because of unvaccinated people and the Delta variant and breakthroughs with people that have vaccines. So under Bethel Park mandate, we're wearing masks again. Mine's a little loose from being in a bag in the car, but it's still fresh. Welcome to another edition of this Pittsburgh Sportline. Thanks for watching us on Comcast 7, only in Bethel Park. Thanks for watching us on Verizon 32 in Bethel Park and all the way from Nemacolin, Cranberry, Wexford, and all points in between. My friend Bobby, who saw us in Nemacolin about 8 years ago, he wanted to watch the show, and I said, Bob, you told me you could see it in Nemacolin. He goes, what channel? He's a little lost after working at the Post-Gazette all those years. And I told him 32, so he found the show again. So, Bobby, if you're watching us tonight, hello. Bill Means, my KO predecessor that has the Crazy Time book, and I'm the driver. He said, we're the funniest guys in sports. He said, thanks mostly to Smokin' Jim getting off the subject of sports. And he didn't mention the race card, so we won't mention that either. And thanks for all the likes on Facebook. We're down to 69-26. We lost a few people because I think Facebook cleans up people that have died or just got off of it, so then they take their like away. So we've been dropping a little bit, but no problem. We have some great sports for you tonight. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine, Smokin' Jim Frazier, Chip Hayner, Nick Callis. And I got some promos to do. We're going to test. Ryan's on camera. A2 is on camera 1. And we'll see what he can pull up right now. Let's see what he got. He's eyeing it up. I'm looking up. Oh, there it is. Bang. Oh. These rookies are great. A2 and rookie Ryan, they're on fire. Olive Oil's Pizzeria, Hillcrest Shopping Center. Didn't see Frank today, the owner. He wasn't there. His other helpers, even Rico, the Mexican guy, made us our pizza and hoagie. So Smokin' Jim eats Mexican food from Olive Oil's Pizzeria. Just had to bring that up before Smokin' Jim says about certain people that can't do things. But not that he's negative. But great Italian food, great pizza, XL pizza, and steak hoagie cut into 6 pieces. We ate all 6 pieces before Smokin' Jim got in the door. We got a full house here. A1 is in the control room with our former Rookie of the Year MVP, Steve. Steve Fisher's back, and it's his last show. He'll be here for probably this year because he has to go back to school to Point Park and graduate. So he's working as an intern at a job. We won't reveal all those details because his business is private. Like Smokin' Jim says, he doesn't go by his government name, but Steve does because being an accountant, he knows what the government does and how you have to pay taxes.
Associate degree means he is a bookkeeper.
Smokin' Jim has 12 degrees of separation from Cal U. We don't even want to explain what bow and arrow degrees are, what basket weaving are, general studies are. We don't want to even get into that, so we'll leave that for a better day. But great pizza. Check them out, 412-831-1900. See, even with Smokin' Jim distracting us, I got the number right. Thanks for helping, buddy. All right, next up, another Bethel Park Place, Bethel Park Historical Society Schoolhouse Arts and History Center. Look at that work. Watch. There it is. The timing was a little early on mine. A2's on fire. 2600 South Park Road has that red trolley there. Schoolhouse was built 1905, has all new windows, all new roof, a cupola with the old original bell, and they got a dance studio. They got an artist there. And they do different events. They have military uniforms. They have all the yearbooks from Bethel Park High School. So check it out. Smokin' Jim wants to check out for a couple friends. Who was your best buddy that played basketball? Last name began with a G. You don't know. From Bethel Park. Gilliam.
Oh, Arm and the Hammer Gilliam.
Hammer.
Yeah.
It's a shame, folks, when you don't believe in concussions and CTE and you suffer from too many hits to the head without a helmet. But check out Bethel Park Historical Society. They're a 501c3. They'll have different events. Hopefully we can get beyond some of these COVID issues, and we'll see what happens. Next up, we honor our show with Stay Joey Strong. Look at that. Perfect. This is Joey before DIPG, the dreaded brain cancer that killed him. After DIPG, he would have been starting, I think they said 10th grade this year. They're having their Joey Fabus Superhero 5K 1 mile run September 12th, 9 a.m. Nick said he could be there, so we'll see if he can still be there. We'll be filming.
That mask has seen better days.
Oh, I know, it's drooping. It's stretched out. This is for like 15 months I wore this mask. I'm struggling, Chip. You know, when you put it on your nose and bend the metal there and it's sliding down, something's wrong. But I'm doing my best here. Check out the Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation. You can donate $1 or anything you want. Donate your time and make sure you sign up for their largest fundraiser, the 5K 1 mile walk. I got to take a deep breath, man. Okay. Oh, here we go. Next up, another 501c3 in Smoking Jim. That's a non-profit. It's a legal entity, not like what you're used to with fundraising. These are actual, legitimate, tax-deductible 501c3. It's under the tax code. Unlike you, hey, I got $50
Not like
tickets.
Macaroni Tony.
Yes. No, and it's not like we're selling $50 tickets to promote blah, 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 and blah, 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 and we're giving out an award for blah, blah. But other than that, this is legit. Always be smiling.
You can buy your way into the City League Hall of Fame.
Well, no, you can get in. You can get in after they say, I'll take 2 tables with 10 each.
And there's 5 chairs.
And I'll just tell you, I'm not saying I'm an honest man, but I'm not lying. I just had to share that. Sorry to always be smiling. It's a great group. They just started because their son Bennett died after a second kidney transplant. His dad Dean gave him a great kidney. He was 16 and a half years old, had different health issues and things, and finally succumbed to kidney disease, which is deadly. And I'm thankful my son, living donor, gave me a great kidney, and I'm doing very well. So that's all good stuff. You can check them out, like their page, Always Be Smiling on Facebook. They just started out, so I boosted them up from 600 something to 700 with inviting some of my friends to like it. So you're more than welcome to like their page. They're doing great things and helping families that have kidney issues. All right, next up we're talking kidneys. Here we go. Kathleen Miller. She sent me this 6-7 months ago. She has a kidney function of 17%. They're estimating that it'll get worse and she'll need a kidney transplant. And she just friended me on Facebook. She's been watching our show, so hello, Kathleen. Thanks for being my friend. And I had to explain her about loose leaf green tea weather report. She goes, what's that have to do with the weather? I go, it's my first cup of loose leaf green tea in the morning, and I give you the Pittsburgh weather report. So that's how clear it is as I adjust my mask. And it caught on. 50 to 250 people like it per day. So it forces me to go outside in my pajamas and take a picture. But you can give a kidney to her. She's a very nice lady. I've talked to her a few times. Go to livingdonorreg.upmc.com. I'll repeat it again. Living Donor Reg, and the donor's DONOR. And if you match her and her blood type and your health is good, you can give a kidney. My son who gave a kidney to me is doing very well, no issues, no problems. So that's how good it is, and usually they pick healthier people with the right blood type, so it works out for everybody. And I'll live longer, have the chance to live longer, except for all the stress on the show that we have here. So I'm trying to do my best because I have a living donor and a kidney. All right, got the good sheet out, Nick. You can watch this. He put my face on Uncle Sam. Tell them Uncle Al sent you. You can be like Ryan. You can be like A2, otherwise known as Anthony. You could be Nick, otherwise known as VIP. You can be A1, otherwise known as Anthony, and you can be Steve, known as Steve. And you can be a volunteer on camera, sound, control, and everything else. Smoking Jim, you all right?
Yeah, I'm saluting Uncle Sam.
Oh, thank you. We know you're entertaining, buddy, but you're doing pretty good. So give a call, be a call, and you could call in. You could be like Smoking Jim Frazier, 412-831-3304, and you can ask him, what the heck are you thinking? But thanks. Give a call if you're in high school and you want to be in, TV or radio or anything like that. Come and work with Dave Cable. He's the best. Another 501c3. We'll see look at A2 on this. It's a bigger piece of paper. Look at the fingernails are clipped and shined up, Smoking Jim. It doesn't matter what color you are, but some people know how to clip their fingernails, Smoking Jim. I'm like, look at those fingernails. Don't show them to the camera. They're like a half inch. Wow. Women would envy those fingernails. Look at that.
That is really exciting.
Those aren't the fingernails of a working man.
Yeah. That's from our. They won't cut through it. They're like a half inch thick.
Alan,
Let me use that.
Toe clippers.
Well, they
that's
look
all
like
right.
toenails.
They'll cut right through that boy.
They look like a couple toenails. All right, we'll get serious for a minute. Bethel Park Community Foundation has grant money available for you, even for Smoking Jim, to buy a $20 pair of nail clippers. Who knows what his toenails are like if he got fingernails like that. Just saying, folks. And we don't want him to show because he wears those oversized by 6 size shoes.
Water skis.
Oh, they're like boats. Forget about the skis. But go to bpcf.org, get an application for $100 to $5,000 for you and your group.
Do they come with oars?
Oh, no paddle. No
Or an
paddle.
outboard motor?
No paddle there. They have this money for you and your group. We've given out $1 million over 25 years, and we give out to $100,000 to $200,000 a year. So check it out and get an application. All right, here's where the test of A2. Let me move the papers out of the way. I'm trying to keep it organized. There we go. All right, here's the test. Let me line it up with the piece of tape that A1 put out here. Little drum roll. Here we go. Whoa, let me move it in. Skeet Service Station. 6103 Library Road, Route 88, Finleyville. Red, white, and blue station. They work on anything that runs on gas. Like Chip always says, have some gas. Well, they have extra gas, maybe a pint. They'll toss it in because like Smoking Jim, he always goes on E. Not dead E, but he goes on E because he knows he gets 1.5 gallons or so. But that's his story. They do all kind of work, you name it, boats, trucks, tractors, cars, weed whackers, hedge trimmers, and then they work on electronic devices to keep them going for you. So check it out. Call 724-348-4715. Tell them Al Levine, the Talking Machine, sent you to get your car, truck, or whatever vehicle. Or guess what? Lawnmowers. A couple friends of mine took it out there, and they got them back in the grass. All right. They sponsor, Skeet sponsors What's on Your Mind. So Smoking Jim Frazier, what's on your mind?
Thanks to Al Levine, the Talking Machine, and if you want the green,
Watch those fingernails.
you got to see Levine. I look like number 80 Saxton on that catch, my favorite receiver. But I tell you what, Al Levine, the Talking Machine, I thought about you the other day ago. I got a high ankle sprain because I was at home and I tripped over all my Bitcoins.
Disclaimer.
Woo!
Hold it, Nick. I gotta put.
Did he say Bitcoins?
No, he said big coins.
Oh, Bitcoin.
I gotta disclaim it. First of all, Smoking Jim has never bought anything online, and Steve Fisher who's training to be an accountant and in business, he tried to explain to him that show me your electronic account that you could buy those Bitcoins. And he couldn't show it to him. And then he lied about it, that he had an account. So this is just a story because he's only as good as the last person he talked to. And somebody was trying to scam him on Bitcoins. And that's what happened. I figured it out. 1 + 1 is Smoking Jim. So now tell your false story.
But I tell you what, Elevator Talking Machine, as I'm
Because you can't trip over Bitcoins. Did he get that?
as
Yeah,
I'm-
that's why I
as
asked.
I'm
Yeah,
straight,
I was roundabout.
as I'm straightening up my inventory.
No, that's in your car.
I'm at my house, I'm straightening up, and there's something that I was looking for 5 years, and I found it. Guess where I found it at? In my work boots. Some of y'all get that. But hey, Nick,
Hey,
I'll tell you what, man, we got the MVP of BPTV, and I tell you what, Al Levine.
Who's the MVP?
I tell you what, Al Levine.
I moved from Rookie of the Year to MVP. That's wonderful.
Here's what happened. He heard me, folks. I got to disclaim it. I told him about the Rookie of the Year and MVP Steve Fisher. So what does he talk about? MVP Nick. He's looking at him.
I'm getting votes, folks.
Hold it, Anthony just said, Smoking Jim wearing a mask, does that mean less eating and more talking of disclaimers? Yes, Anthony. Yes.
But I tell you what, Al Levine, the talking machine.
Yes.
Nick got a great business going. He's so talented, man. He can make anything.
Are you trying to get him on your side about Bitcoins?
No, what
No,
I'm
he's trying to
do,
make me some money.
Al Levine, the talking
How?
machine. I could have saved him 3 years of tuition by having him go to Art Institute. If I was his academic advisor at Waynesburg, I'd have been like, what are you doing here? Go to the Art Institute.
I can explain.
Save a little money.
I make flyers for a nonprofit organization. Smoking Jim didn't know I could do that. Instead of learning
talented.
design skills at Waynesburg, I go to the Art Institute. That's why he's saying that.
What a career. But hi diddle diddle. Hi diddle diddle. Chip up the middle, sliding in the second like Polanco. Hey Chip, you know you're a bad organization when you try to get rid of your best player for free and nobody takes them.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
But I tell
He's
you,
the worst.
who's
He's
the
the
best?
worst player.
Who's the,
He's their best player.
salary-wise, he's making a big
Brian
buck.
Reynolds is their best player, hands down.
salary
No
always
questions
doesn't always
asked.
equate to.
Claudio still think he's good. But hey, Al Levine, the talking machine, you know what it reminds me of?
No.
Years ago when the Pirates was on their 20-game losing streak, 20-year losing streak, well, it wasn't that long ago.
It might have been.
And I had some
No, a few
Pirate
years
tickets.
ago
I
it
had
ended.
4 Pirate tickets. I put it on the windshield of a car. I went and got something to eat, came back, there was 8 tickets there. But hey, no problem. I still love my Pirates. I'm winning a lot on my Pirates. And that's what's on my mind. The Pirates trying to get rid of-
Last disclaimer, Smoking Jim does the opposite of loving the Pirates. He's Mr. Negative about baseball and the Buccos. Because look, he just said he loves his Pirates because they're losing, making him money.
You just found out last week that Austin Meadows isn't on the team anymore.
No, I knew that. I didn't know where he was at. I didn't know. But hey, Al Levine, the talking machine, one question. Have you ever seen a team, a major league professional team, try to give away their best player for free and couldn't?
Who's the best player?
Who's the
best
best
player?
player?
Who are you talking
He's
about?
actually the worst. He's the worst
Salary
player
does
on
not
the team.
equate to
Why do you
performance
think
on
they're
the
trying
field.
to give him away?
Now, I know all of you like Smoking Jim and his humor, but we have one question, Smoking Jim.
Yeah.
And we would like you to answer it honestly,
I'm glad he's back
if
on the team.
possible. No, the question
We're
is,
talking about Polanco?
who is the best player?
Huh?
Who are you
I
talking
go by
about?
salary.
No, who
Salary
is the
doesn't have
best
anything to
player?
do with it.
Crosby.
Who is the best player on the Buccos you're talking about?
Polanco.
End of this segment. Chip Hayner, what's on your mind?
Well, in
He failed.
the first place, to put a little lightheartedness into my segment,
Yes.
Smoking Jim was talking about a high ankle sprain. Well, I'm going to talk about somebody else that was high and quite fast while she was high. Sha'Carri Richardson. She won the Olympic trials in the 100-meter dash. Well, she stopped smoking dope, cleaned up, passed all of her drug tests, came in last place.
What's that tell you?
Girlfriend should start smoking the Pope again.
Right. Thank you, Chip.
So, what's on my mind this week? Obviously, I'm wearing my Steeler gear. And, we watched another Hall of Fame performance by a future Hall of Fame quarterback on Saturday night.
Yeah.
A perfect quarterback rating. And
158.3.
And the Steelers are going to lock up the greatest linebacker in Pittsburgh Steeler history. T.J. Watt, sometime after the Carolina game on Friday night, will sign the contract that will make him the richest defensive player in the NFL this week.
Well, I
That
gotta,
could change next week.
let
but
me interrupt you 1 second. For all of you fans think I like beating Smoking Jim up, he makes it easy because he's not truthful on a lot of things. But he made one statement on the show how many years ago when
he got drafted.
we got him drafted, and he said the first year he's the best linebacker in Steeler history. And he goes, "What do you think, Machine?" I go, "Let's see him after a few years." Well, he's pretty darn good. And he got to go about 10, 12 years for me to think he might be
Well,
the
he
best.
should have been the Defensive Player of the Year last year.
Yes, he should.
Aaron Donald, even though Aaron Donald is an exceptional football player
Yes.
and an exceptional member of the community and a
many
great
ways.
representative, I think he got the award on his reputation because I believe
Yes.
that T.J. Watt was very deserving of that award last year. Runner-up 2 years ago, runner-up last year. He's taking the trophy this year.
Yeah.
So.
And he's going to get the money because of Smoking Jim
So
promoting him.
now that the Steelers are locking up T.J. Watt, and Ben came out firing like the Ben of old,
Yeah.
defending the AFC North title this year, it's going to be a piece of cake.
Whoa.
That's what's on my
An
mind.
early prediction by Chip. Thank you, Chip. Smoking Jim, why would you question a good thing promoting your guy?
I just got one question. Steve Fisher, that was the best fudge I ever ate. That was good. I'm going to need another piece of
Do
that.
you even know what flavor it was?
I don't know what it was, but it was good.
I just
need
have
another piece of
to. You know what? This is the night of disclaimers, Anthony.
that. He only gave me a sliver.
Smoking Jim
And
is
you
one
made
of-
him put it on a plate for you.
Here, a little backstory on Smoking Jim. They named a burger after me called the Talking Machine Burger, and it had all kind of things on there, from guacamole to he couldn't pronounce it, to pizza sauce, to pepper jack cheese, lettuce, tomato, and Smoking Jim would be like this. What was that? He got a burger, no bun, no nothing. I go, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Machine, I don't like all that stuff on a burger." Burger was this thick. His burger was the half pound of Black Angus. He ate that.
You use some packets of relish and dip them in too?
He couldn't find it. He couldn't find the relish. And here's what the surprise is. That fudge that Steve brought here, the former Rookie of the Year and MVP of BPTV, brought in pickle fudge. That's pickle.
It was good. I liked
Pickle.
Whatever it was.
So in other words, we found that eggplant parmesan is good and pickle fudge is good. We can move on now to Nick.
Yay! Smoking Jim, my sister flew in from Texas yesterday.
Yay! Welcome home. Welcome home.
Do you even know her name?
She's beautiful.
Do you even know her name?
Bella. That means beautiful in Italian.
Another disclaimer, Smoking Jim, can you answer a question? Do you know her name? It's yes or no. It's yes or no.
That is incorrect.
Of course.
Well, I asked her if she would drive me today just so she could meet you on the when she picks me
I would
up.
love to get
And
her
she,
autograph.
well, she said, nah. So, so I drove
Best
myself
move
to the
she
show
could
today.
Hey,
Just for that, you owe me a gyro.
hey,
Why
wait
a
a minute.
gyro?
We might have some breaking news here. We may have a guest next week.
Whoa.
Whoa.
What? Mike Migliore?
Even better.
I didn't. Who's
Even
the-
better.
I'm listening. Who's the guest?
My wife.
Oh, yay!
She's thinking about coming next week.
Is she?
Are you
Nice.
coming too?
I don't know.
She's-
That's a little tease for next week.
All right, that's awesome, man.
All right, let's
Oh,
get
wait,
back to Nick
She's
here.
gonna stay behind the scenes, you know.
Cool.
Yeah. She's more than welcome.
All right, sports. I found out this weekend that the Pirates have not swept the series yet this season. I was very surprised by that. I thought they had done that already. They have not. They have not swept a series this year. They had 10 opportunities, one of which included this weekend against the Cardinals until Adam Wainwright
Yeah, the other
pulled them apart
the-
again. I'm not. I mean, we all know that they're not performing well this year, which is fine. I was just surprised that statistic. Like, does that matter? Does
You
that
know-
not matter? It's just interesting.
Were you aware that one of the times where they didn't have the sweep, they won 3 in a row against the Cardinals and lost the 4th game?
I didn't know that.
That's not a sweep, though. That's
I
3
said
and
that
4.
was not a sweep, but that was one of the
He
times
prefaced it by
where
that.
they
Okay.
did not. That it was a 4-game series. They're
Okay.
playing a 4-game series this weekend.
Okay. They don't
Against
have
the
any sweeps
Cardinals.
yet this year. I was surprised by that statistic. And that's what's on my mind.
Thank you, Nick. Glad we got that clarified. What's on my mind is Big Ben, 39 years old. He said he was watching how Tom Brady's able to play and watch his diet, has a nutritionist, which I was surprised to know that he's had a nutritionist for a few years, because a few times he was bigger than his 300-pound lineman. Now he's back, Smoking Jim, your hero, 6'5", 250. He's moving around with Canada's offense, and he actually looks good. And I was surprised in his quarterback rating. We talked about it off air, 158.3. For all of you except Smoking Jim, that's a perfect record. That's a perfect performance. And he did well. And what's that, Fearmouth from Penn State?
Friarmouth.
Firemuth. He, my daughter's alma mater, caught 2 touchdown passes, and they're talking about him being Heath already.
That's right.
So I assume that they're on the Smoking Jim bandwagon, where if you do well for one game, you're the best in history.
Well, what they were doing at the game was they were calling him Moose. Moose.
Is that what caused the fight in the stands?
No.
Oh, I saw that fight on Facebook.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, I was
Well, I
smoking.
feel sorry for that poor guy.
So-
His wife smacked some dude across the face and he got cold caught. They sang him a lullaby.
Wow.
They sang him a lullaby.
What's amazing is Smoking Jim acts like he's the most positive guy. Why would he pick out the most negative thing? I was putting up, yeah, but
He's
it's
the
like,
instigator.
yeah, it's like a little kid that's teasing his
Me and
sister.
Ryan's on the same page. He was going to ask the same thing.
Well, we don't even know if Smoking Jim had sisters, but he was the brother that would pull their hair, and they'd smack him, and they'd get in trouble.
I ain't pulling no black woman's hair.
See? Look at why. He got
No
beat.
way.
He got
No
beat.
way, bro.
You pull the weave on.
Yeah.
Oh, oh,
All right, now
Put your mask on so you don't spit anything out.
now that we got all that out of the way, hey, if you guys are on Facebook and you're watching our show, we appreciate it. This is just a little 10-second break for him to swallow that pizza that he's been choking up for 2 minutes.
I know I ain't right.
All right, we'll be back with some fiction and fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac.
Steelers show blitz. He throws the pass up. It's going to be picked up. James Harrison has it. He's running up the sideline. 25, 30.
Hi, Bethel Park. Uncle Al speaking. I'm asking you to come help us behind the scenes at BP TV. We're looking for some proud Bethel Park residents to help us make the shows that you want to watch. For more information, contact Station Director Dave Cable, and we will see you behind the cameras at BP TV.
guys, have you ever heard of BPTV?
No, I haven't heard about BPTV. What is it?
BPTV is a public access television station in Bethel Park. It's where you can go to make the shows that you want to watch.
Wow, that sounds great. How can I get involved?
The station's located at the bottom floor of the Bethel Park Municipal Building.
So give us a call or stop in and you too can volunteer at BPTV.
Be the pulse of Bethel Park.
And join BPTV today.
Yeah.
Steelers show blitz. He throws the pass up. It's going to be picked up. James Harrison has it. He's running up the sideline. 25, 30.
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine, 1066.
William the Conqueror.
William the Conqueror.
He conquered England in that year. That's a
Wow.
long time ago.
And the guy that's the William the Conqueror now is Tom Brady, huh?
No. He's a football player.
Very close.
We're talking countries.
Same thing.
Football and any fans out there, you know the difference, right? I don't want to try to reprimand him and disclaim it because he went to Gateway, does not know math, history, geography, and a few other things.
And you're going to try to tell me 158 is perfect.
158.3 is perfect in football.
300's a perfect score in bowling. They should figure a way to round it
Is
up to
football
200.
bowling?
Should be 200
That was easy.
or 100 for a perfect rating.
Smoking
Either
Jim,
way,
you never even bowled.
I bowled a lot of gutters.
I was in a bowling league, so carry on.
All right, Al Levine, the talking machine. I tell you what, man.
What?
You used to always teach me that life is about the decisions that you make.
Yes.
One of my best friends, my all-time best friends, we call each other cousins over the years. Greatest athlete I ever seen in my life, Dwight Collins. Parade All-American in football, him and Herschel Walker in high school. You know, All-American in basketball, played in the round ball game. Was a great baseball player for 2 years, probably was his best sport. Ran 2 years of track, broke every record that you can break, never got beat in the race. But when he got to Pitt, he was great, but his attitude wasn't right. And he ended up
Was
being,
he still talking to you?
Yeah, I used to go down there all the time.
That could have been the problem.
I used to be surprised. I was like, Chris Dolman wasn't a good-looking guy when he was in college, but boy, did he get the white girls. I used to be shocked. I'm like, how did he get that girl? I mean, good-looking girls, man. But anyhow, I mean, the talking machine.
Wow.
So Dwight Collins used to get so much money from his agent, and
Yeah.
you know they had the Pitt boosters or whatever they called it. That
Alumni.
time. Yeah, he used to get a ton of money. But when you get money from your agent, you got to pay it back.
Yeah.
So when he got drafted in the 4th round, he held out because most of the money that he would have made, he would have had to repay back to the agents for the last couple of years
And who taught him that?
that he got that money. So
Who taught him
'cause
talking
everybody
to Smoking Jim?
Yeah, because everybody figured he was going in the 1st round. So it's about the decisions you make. Julius Dawkins, 12th round pick. He was Bob Hope All-American.
Yeah.
You know, him and Anthony Carter. Well, I took a lot of heat. A kid that I heard about ever since he was in youth league football at 5 and 6, Diddy, Paris Ford. He was the chosen one.
I
he
saw
was
he
the
got
next,
cut.
He was the next one. This guy was so great in football and basketball. That's all they ever talked about. Well, he went to 3 different high schools, and I took heat when I said that was a problem. You know, he keeps quitting.
Yeah.
He goes to Central Catholic. I don't blame him for quitting that. 'Cause
Whoa, he's on his side
well,
now.
he didn't have the grades for Central.
Okay.
But then he go to Seton LaSalle for 2 years, quit on his teammates, and go to Steel Valley, wins the state championship. And even you came down on me hard when I said he quit on his teammates at Pitt.
Yeah.
Preseason, NFL list had him going in the 1st round of the upcoming NFL draft. Well, not only did he not go in the 1st round, he didn't get drafted. He walked on to the Rams and was the first player cut. Al Levine, the talking machine. No degree, no education, no way to get back in school. His eligibility is gone. I took a lot of heat. I even lost my friendship with his father, Boo Ford,
That was many years ago.
who I put in the City League Hall of Fame. Now he won't talk to me because of the things I said about his son.
Sure.
These guys are a little picky. Thin skin. But hey, Al Levine, the talking machine, I feel bad for him because he was always better than Kenny Robinson, who plays for the Carolina Panthers. He's the nickelback. But life is about, like you taught me, the decisions that you make. Paris Ford made a bad decision, and I feel vindicated.
Hey,
Is that a
Smoking
word?
Jim, I'll
That is
tell
a
you,
word.
you're actually listening sometimes, so I
Thank you.
respect that.
I
It,
listen all the time.
it took almost 10 years to sink in, so you've been vindicated on me being wrong.
What do you mean? Oh,
Did he say anything
You
about
t-
me?
you
Did he,
t-
did he
you t-
mention anything about me? Because CTE lives in Smoking Jim's
no,
head.
everybody, not just you, everybody came down on me when I said he quit on his team, and that's going to be bad for the NFL. You know what I mean? I know
Well,
a little bit about what the NFL likes.
Smoking Jim, I'm sorry to hurt your feelings back then.
No, it didn't hurt my feelings.
Oh, okay. Because I'll keep doing it. Thank you, Smoking Jim.
Going to make this short and sweet this week because Nick's got a little something he wants to share with us. So, without further ado, all of the laughing and joking and criticism of the Pittsburgh Pirates, I understand. They're in a rebuild. And you know what? I said earlier this year, Pirates were going to only lose 90 games, and it appears they're on pace to lose 100, okay? And that is what it is. But one thing the Pirates are almost leading the league in. At the beginning of the year, the Pirates had the most fielding errors of any team in baseball. As it stands right now, of the 30 Major League Baseball teams,
Negative.
the Pirates are ranked, have the second fewest errors in all of Major
You're
League
kidding.
Baseball.
I didn't know that. That's great.
So, you know, they are making progress. Last year they led the league in errors. This year, not so much. So next up, somebody joined the 500 club a few days ago.
Yeah.
Miguel Cabrera hit his 500th home run. He is now the 28th player to join the 500 club. But Miguel Cabrera also joined a more exclusive club and is on pace to be in the most exclusive club.
Whoa.
Miguel Cabrera is one of 4 players in Major League history to have 500 home runs, have won an MVP, have won a Triple Crown, and have won a World Series.
Wow.
Okay? The other 3 players besides Miguel Cabrera to have accomplished this feat.
You need to write that down.
Yes, I did. Mickey Mantle,
My favorite.
Frank Robinson,
No.
Frank Robinson, Jimmy
knew him.
Fox,
Wow.
and Miguel Cabrera. Now, the most exclusive club that Miguel Cabrera could potentially join, and keep in mind, he is under contract for next year,
Yeah.
would be the only person to have accomplished that feat and have 3,000 hits.
Wow.
He is 45 hits away from 3,000. It's unlikely that he may or may not achieve
this
that
year.
this year. But next year, he is under contract with the Detroit Tigers. It will be 40 years old. He could be the only player in Major League history to have 500 home runs, win an MVP, win the Triple Crown, have won a World Series, and have 3,000 base hits.
How do you spell Hall of Fame?
There you go.
Mickey Mantle got 3,000 hits. My Mickey.
Nope.
What team did he play for?
The Yankees.
Oh,
That's my
thank
favorite.
goodness.
Mickey hit
Yeah, he knows
Mickey,
something.
Mickey could hit the ball from New York to Pittsburgh, man.
But that's my trivia for this week.
Great trivia, Chip. Thank you.
All right, so for my opinion this week, I'm going to add a little bit of Chip's format where we give some facts, and I'm going to use those facts to give this opinion. We just spoke about Miguel Cabrera And I'd make an argument that he wouldn't have done as well in his career statistically without the designated hitter. I'm revisiting this subject because I did a little more research, talked to my young brethren and some people who are more experienced in the sport, who are for or against it. And I've come up with some facts that I don't think the average baseball fan or Smoking Jim would know.
Well,
so
no, you can't throw him in. He doesn't know anything about baseball.
So, Smoking Jim, this will be a lesson for you at the very least.
Yes.
As well as anybody else potentially watching. So, baseball at first was a game where pitchers threw the ball so that the batters could hit it. So, pitchers weren't working too much on craft, not trying to spin the ball. Batters were only charged with a strike if they swung at a pitch. Toward the 1880s, though, batters started being more selective, so the rules put a called strike in because that gave batters more incentive to swing because they could get called out. This allowed for pitchers to start throwing harder because they were like, well, if we can have called strikes, let's just start throwing the ball harder. Let's start putting more spin on the ball, and hitters won't be able to hit as easily. Well, toward the end of the 1880s, baseball was considered to be becoming boring because everybody was struggling to hit, and pitchers of all the players, were struggling to hit the most. Their averages were going down. The first Major League Baseball team to suggest that there be a designated hitter in the rules was ironically the Pittsburgh Pirates in 1887. Their owner, William Chase Temple, was like, let's propose a designated hitter where we have a hitter get in the lineup. Well, that didn't pass. Tradition won out. They were like, if you field, then you got to hit. According to Baseball Reference, batting averages for pitchers from 1900 on never exceeded 300. So pitchers collectively never hit over 300, and that number has been steadily going down since 1920. It got so bad that in 1968, the year of the pitcher, where we had Bob Gibson among other pitchers throwing well, that the mound had to be lowered. Baseball's front office suggested that something else needed to be done because baseball was seen as getting really boring because nobody was hitting, but pitchers especially were not hitting. They took a vote. The American League said yes to the DH. The National League said no. So there was a 3-year experiment from 1973 to 1976 that allowed the American League to use a designated hitter. In that time, the American League had more runs scored, better batting averages, and higher attendance among fans than the National League did. Now, surprisingly, the National League wasn't just like, nope, we're sticking to tradition. The National League decided that they would take a vote in 1980 to also adopt the designated hitter. And that's something I didn't know because I thought the National League was just going to be stubborn in their traditions. Mm-hmm. In 1980, the National League took a vote, and the majority of owners wanted the designated hitter to be adopted. But there was one unique story where there was a slight adjustment toward the end of voting. The vice president of the Philadelphia Phillies was supposed to vote yes by the owner. But since there was a slight adjustment in the terms, he called the owner again, who was on a fishing trip. Called him a couple times. He didn't pick up because he was gone. So the Philadelphia Phillies vice president abstained. The Pittsburgh Pirates owner, or the Pittsburgh Pirates president, was instructed to do whatever the Phillies decided to do. So the Pittsburgh Pirates also abstained.
Wow.
And the designated hitter in the National League failed by 1 vote.
I didn't know that.
That's why he's teaching you that.
So that's, I was very stubborn before I learned all that history about, I was a traditionalist up until like 2018, 2019. But once I learned about the history of it and how close we were to getting the designated hitter in both leagues, I was just like, maybe baseball could be more interesting. And I talked to some of my friends, and I talked to some people working behind the scenes as well. And baseball is not getting enough interest. And I think part of that reason could be because the likelihood of a pitcher getting out today when batting is likely. Their averages as of 2019 are .109 as a team. I don't have statistics from this year yet or from 2020, but they've been steadily going down since 1920. And I think that if you put a batter who is trained to hit in there, you'll have more suspenseful games and you'll have more people interested because the likelihood of that player getting out isn't. It's not likely.
That may be well and good, but what's also happening is that the trained hitters, their batting averages are the lowest now that they've been in over 50 years. So what is making a trained hitter better than a pitcher? My opinion always has been and always will be, if you cannot play a position in the field, you should not get a chance to bat.
Well, think about the Pirates market right now, too. Speaking of even free agents and having interest in players, Miguel Cabrera, for example, good player, plays in the American League now. He plays DH because he's getting old and his body cannot field as well as somebody else.
He shouldn't be playing.
So when he shouldn't be playing, so we don't want him to go get 3,000 hits and join that exclusive club.
No. If you need to be able to play a position in the field to earn a spot on a 25-man roster. That's my opinion. I don't think you should keep somebody around to chase a record. For anything, if you can't play in the field, you've got no business being on the team.
I don't know about that.
Good point.
I feel strongly about it. You're not going to sway me on this.
Why don't you have the average position players pitching? Because pitching has become as explicit of an art as hitting has.
That I don't see how that correlates to anything.
Why wouldn't you just put an average position player on the mound to pitch? Why do we even have a realm of 20 people in the bullpen who can throw?
There's that little circle, 60 feet 6 inches, and they designated that a pitcher.
That's what I'm saying.
No, they designated it. That's why we have it. I'm just explaining history.
Right, but why don't we shorten the rosters then and say why can't every player on the team
They
pitch?
They can do that. And Chip said they do that.
Position players pitch?
Yes.
Williams' studio earlier in the year, you were upset because somebody launched a home run off him because he only could throw 47 miles per hour.
No, actually, I just saw somebody throw a 31.5-mile-an-hour strike.
Yes.
Really?
It was still a strike.
Yeah, and Brock Holt gave up like 5 hits in that inning. So it's tough. I think that.
But here's the interesting thing. Back in the 1880s, was that when you said that the Pirates suggested?
Yes, 1887.
They said the game was boring.
Yeah, because pitchers weren't hitting well.
For 135 years later, they're still playing the same game.
They were a vote close because of 2 abstentions.
Now you weren't around then, so you don't know, but they're still playing the same game by the same rules, and it has survived for 100 and almost 50 years.
And it's still boring.
And it's the longest-lived professional sports in America.
As a mediator, this is why most sports is opinions, and you never let the facts get in the way of opinions.
What's your opinion on that, Al?
My thing is, I'm against the DH because I'm traditional like Chip, that if you can play, you can hit. If you can't play, you can't hit.
You think about it.
Think
about how ridiculous it is. And then a guy that pitches every 5 days can't master the craft of hitting a baseball.
Right.
Because he's got 4 days that he isn't pitching. He could be working on mastering that craft.
Yeah, Japanese kid's doing it, right?
Yeah.
That's one player.
Is he a kid? How old is he?
No, that's one player, buddy.
They're all kids.
Babe Ruth was another one.
That's one player.
That's
one player.
Babe Ruth?
Again, that's an opinion. That's one player, and the facts back you up. That what's the percentage of players after you get past 1? None.
That's 2 I mentioned. Babe Ruth and the Japanese.
In 100 years.
Huh?
Do you
I
understand?
can name more.
Did you understand 100 years?
There used to be real good pitchers.
Did you understand there's only been one guy like Babe
Ruth? I was a
Ruth?
pitcher and I could hit.
You could not. Smoking Jim, do you understand this statement?
Jim,
Babe
you couldn't
Ruth.
drop a bat and hit the floor.
Yeah. But Smoking Jim missed the point. He gave me 2 players. One did it 100 years ago and one's doing it today. What happened in between, and who are these other players? There's nobody. I said there's none.
I agree with Nick on that.
Well, he said there's none.
Well, I'll just say this, too. I mean, outfield walls weren't a thing traditionally. They got put in the game, didn't change. Replay came into the game, didn't ruin the game. The pitching mound got lowered. The game's still surviving to this day.
One more. Smoking Jim started paying attention to baseball about 10 years ago. It didn't ruin the game.
Yeah.
I rest my case.
And that's my opinion.
And I appreciate that. All right. All right. On location. September 4th, we'll be on location USS Fight Academy, 1712, Lincoln Highway, North Versailles. Smoking Jim and I and Nick will be on a road trip. Great night of fights. That's our third in a series of fights out there. It's a great fight night. Look at Nick's addicted to boxing because of being out there. He can't miss. So we'll have a great night there. September 12th, we're supposed to look at a possible fight out in the North Hills. We haven't gotten more details about that. And that's Bill Boyce's cookout, so we'll have to see. On the 12th, we'll be doing the Joey Fabus 5-mile or 5K 1-mile run with superheroes. We'll be filming from 9 in the morning, and we'll try to get some of the winners and interview people dressed up like superheroes, sort of dressed like Smoking Jim does with the New York Yank hat on, not wearing their colors or pinstripes, but he's pro baseball. Somehow that's unusual. But we're going to do that, and we're looking at future shows and all that. Jim Frio and Mike Murray invited us to November 30th, which is a Tuesday, for a night of fights, again, out at the Moundsville Prison. Ooh. So mark your calendars. We might have to go on a road trip instead of doing our show on a Tuesday night, November 30th. But coming attractions, we'll see what happens. But that's what's up for On Location. We're not going to go to any subject, although I wanted to talk about Steelers.
Turkey.
No, that's a lie. All he'll bring is 10-piece dark meat from Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah,
and
bring
they
the
don't
bucket.
they don't have it on the sign outside there anymore, so they mustn't have that special. But I wanted to talk some Steelers, get the NFL scout's opinion, because I know he watched it on film already. So, what did you think?
I tell you what, Al Levine, the talking machine. It's just the little things. Big Ben brought back the pump fake, which is the best since Brett Favre. You know, nobody could do it like Brett Favre. But I tell you what, Al Levine, the talking machine, I said it at the first game of the season in Canton, Ohio, that I really liked a little white guy. If he was black, everybody'd be crazy about him. Number 80, Saxton. I don't watch what a guy does. I watch how he does it. The way he set up the punt return against the Dallas Cowboys, I knew he could play. He went a long way. He did the same thing this week. He set up his blocks and was able to turn the corner and go down the sideline. Should have scored if somebody was blocking. They was too busy watching him instead of blocking. The guy's special. If he can do that, just imagine what he can do in the slot. And there's a lot of reverse discrimination. And look, if the tight end was black, he'd have been. Why does it take Ben Roethlisberger to hit him with some passes? That was the third game he played. He's a second-round draft choice. They should have been throwing him the football.
Well, because he was letting Ebron drop all the rest of them.
Ebron shouldn't be on the team.
Wait.
We finally got a middle linebacker. Time to get rid of Devin Bush.
Do you know
now.
why he didn't throw to him in the first two games? Because he didn't play.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Do you hate Devin Bush, Smoking Jim?
Devin Bush, that gold shoe Twitter account, non-playing middle linebacker, yeah. They should get rid of him.
How tall is he?
I would cut him.
How tall is he?
I would cut Dwayne Haskins. I would cut Mason Rudolph.
Yes, I'll go with that.
Hold it. Speaking of cuts, there was a can't-miss quarterback for the Steelers last year who this guy bet everything on and lost, called Duck. He got cut from the Rams.
Yeah, he laid an egg in Los Angeles.
Well, he's
just like he did in Pittsburgh.
2 eggs.
He's like Tebow. He's a winner. Nobody liked Tebow because he was a Christian.
Again,
that's just not true.
Again, Smoking Jim picked another cut guy.
Let me see. They didn't like Debo. They didn't like Debo because he couldn't play quarterback, he couldn't play baseball, and he couldn't play tight end. Maybe he should be nose tackle.
He got a beautiful wife. And they got rid of Duck.
Hold it. We're talking about guys that got cut.
And Duck was a winning quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, 4-3 record.
And he could not he was the third string quarterback to Jared Goff.
Well, all I know is the Pittsburgh Steelers cut Johnny Unitas when he was a rookie.
And
they
Len
got rid of
Dawson.
Len Dawson.
What did they do?
They went on and Tad Marchibroda. Do you look at Johnny Unitas and Tad Marchibroda?
What did they do?
I'm going to keep Tad Marchibroda.
What did they do?
Well, they just keep Claudio Rosado.
Wow, that's your best friend.
He's the tallest guy in his family. He doesn't mean he can play basketball.
Maybe you ought to ask Claudio if he wants to sign Polanco.
Yeah.
He's on a roll.
See if we can get him a degree at CMU.
All right, Smoking Jim, they cut a few players that became Hall of Famers.
Yes, quite a few.
That's only a few. How many people even get to the Hall of Fame?
Well, know,
Not
Bill-
too many.
Bill Nunn got there by drafting 3 black players that made it to the Hall of Fame. And
Hold it. I
Dick
claim.
Dick Haley, the general manager, his boss drafted 13 players that went to the Hall of Fame.
Here.
But Bill Nunn goes in
Smoking
first.
Jim.
Black Lives Matter.
Smoking Jim, I got a
No,
chicken
actually,
bone.
Chuck Nolan in first.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying this for. I don't believe that nobody that ain't a player.
Smoking
should
Jim,
go
I
into
got
the
a
Hall of
chicken
Fame,
bone to
but-
pick with
Oh,
you.
except Bill Cowher, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
You talk about reverse discrimination.
Yes.
You're discriminating about a great black writer and a great black
He
scout.
was great. How can he go in before sport? That would be like me going into Pittsburgh Sports Line Hall of Fame before you.
Oh, thanks.
I'm
Somehow you
just a
snuck me
co-host.
in.
You do way more than me.
Okay.
You do way more than me. You get us shows, you get us locations. But because I'm black, I go into the Hall of Fame before you.
No, people
Dick-
can hear your voice over
Hey,
everybody else's.
Dick
That's
Haley,
why. That's why
Dick
people.
Haley, listen,
Ah.
listen.
Hold it.
Donnie Shell-
I can't hear in here.
Donnie
You talking
Shell,
to me?
He
made it.
Mel Blunt
He made it early.
and John Stallworth was the only 3 black Hall of Famers that he picked. Dick Haley put 13 players in the Hall of Fame. White guys.
Yeah.
Bill Nunn had nothing to do with
So
that.
now you say the reverse
Yeah,
discrimination's
Dick
against
Haley
Haley.
should be in there.
Okay.
Don't you agree?
I don't know. I'm not on the board.
No, there ain't a month for Dick Haley.
Well, if that's how strongly you feel, put him in the City League Hall of Fame.
Hey, we got the State Hall of Fame. We're putting Bradley in. Remember Bradley from Penn State that worked for the Steelers?
What's his first name?
I'm putting Bradley in.
What's his first
I call
name?
him Bradley. I can't think
He
of
don't
his
remember
first
his first name.
name.
That's
We're
why
putting
I'm
him in-
asking.
We're putting him in the State Hall
His
of
name's
Fame.
Tom.
Tom Brady. That's Tom Brady.
Bradley.
Tom Brady.
Tom Bradley. But great guy, great guy. Hey, Al Levine, talking machine. You know the first thing he told me when I called him on the phone?
No.
Do not mention the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's so mad with the Steelers. I'm like, I love it. You know the first thing I do when I'm introducing?
Yeah,
And
mention-
the coach of the Pittsburgh. I can't wait, fella.
Poor Tom. That's
I
poor
got a little
Tom.
chip in me.
No, you got a little
I got a
smoking.
little chip in me.
You got a little smoking Jim. Well, I hope we were entertaining for you tonight. I know Smoking Jim was way out there. He covered discrimination, reverse discrimination, and who should be in, who should be out. He doesn't have a vote except on that City League Hall of Fame, and we all know about that. So see you next week. Stay Joey strong.